tell you about my new tube wave shaping VCA. This is 6 HP module with one in, one out, and it's a double VCA in the sense we've got control at the front and after the tube, which there's a little light at the beginning and a little light at the end of the tube, and this wave shaping control moves a grid voltage inside the tube. So it's got a lot of control here. We're going to start with a plain sine wave. This purple line goes to the oscilloscope, so we see that we're just on a sine wave here. If we go through the tube, this thing has got a huge amount of gain, so I'm going to start with those things down. That's how we get some of our sound crushing. You have to turn up both the first, the in and the out, just about a quarter, and you'll see the tube. There's a sine wave come through it, just open right now. If we change the wave parameter though, see that thing fold over. And these are all CV controlled. With many times gain. You can turn that sine wave into any timbre you like. But because it's a voltage controlled, we can pulse these things. Let's send it from maths, channel 4, to, if we leave the out CV just on, but the input can be pulsed. Maybe not so much. Just to show it is a VCA. Or you could leave the first one open, close the last one, and then send your signal in there. And pick any tone. And remember, this is all just a sine wave going through it. Look at that again. We're not changing any tones. To give us a rhythm, and then we'll move this to the output CV so we can just see what the tone is, even though it's... There we go. We have a range of values here. If I bring that down, you can see what the clipping looks like. So about a quarter of the way up is sort of a clean input, and as you go past clean and it starts to clip on the edges there, it goes a little bit square wave, but then it'll fold over into higher harmonics, and you can do that twice into a fully crushed sound. And then as you move the waveguide, we have a range of timbres. Let's sequence that so that you get a little rhythm. These are additive, so I'm going to bring it down a little bit. And you get the full range of tones just by wave shaping that initial sine. Then this feedback knob switch will route the output back into the input, which usually will reduce the volume because of phase cancellation, but it's also going to enable more complicated waveforms. And need to stop the CV control on it, so we can just look at one level here. And here, when you bend the waveguide, it'll suddenly flip over to this cut waveform, and there's a sweet spot in between those two. If I bring this back really gently, where it can't decide whether or not to, which waveform to make. And then it'll give you a nice crunchy sound. That's a digital noise. It's an analog module, but it's like digital noise. So I'm going to bring up the frequency, and you see it's sort of a snare now. So if I crank up the output so we get maximum volume, bring down the input a little bit, and it's just all feedback with our switch up. There's a lot of weirdness in there now. I like that spot. This was all a sine wave, so we could look at it with a saw. I mean, that's just fun to have that out of an analog saw wave going to just a tube wave shaper. I mean, abuse of the tube. But it's running at very low powers, so I don't think it'll wear out anytime soon. Clear this out and set up a new patch. Bring those back a little bit. We're going to play first the triangle wave, so you can see the Dixie makes a nice triangle wave. Put that through, and then we'll see what we can do with that one. So at some strong amplification, then the waveguide will give you folded tones. It's generally softer with the feedback down. You can see the blue light comes on as this wave gets really high. And we will sequence that one with a shorter cable and just clock it occasionally. And then we'll use the grids again to give it some punch. And we can control the level of it, so just there's nothing, or maybe a negative. No. And set this low enough that it's closed. See, they're very gentle. These knobs go from quiet to open to overdrive. But you can make this envelope a little bit sharper. And the tone is changing with the sequence now. What if we put some audio into one of these other CV inputs? It's a crazy town. I like having the visual feedback of when you're giving the control voltage. You can't decide what it's doing anymore. Stop that sequence. crazy. I like the feedback mode though. It's fun. Those are sounds that are hard to make other ways. That's why we play with hardware, right? It is AC coupled, but it will run it very low. Makes some nice electric sound. Just a sine wave. Sometimes it spurts as you turn the knob, but it'll settle out after a second. For all your tube sound needs. And if we take 2 channels of the grids to give us some syncopate rhythm, and we'll run the wave CD in an envelope. I'm going to need some input. I like that, just the sine wave giving a full song. Works. A little clicky. But why not? That's a kick. Just adding negative envelope into the wave grid. Something to it though. Should be a lot of fun.